it's still giving very much, I'm looking to get my writing career popping off of your back, Tamar. That's what G. Sean was giving to me. Was it just me? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Y'all already know, here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This video, we are continuing discussing Queen's Court. It's Peacock's brand new show. They dropped all the episodes today. I've been anticipating this. So we are now talking episode 2, titled Shoot Your Shot. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Just going to do it now, please, and thank you very much for subscribing. I greatly appreciate you helping me grow this new channel. I really enjoy putting out content for y'all and discussing these shows. That's why I would love it if you would drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think of Queen's Court thus far. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what feathers y'all feeling, not feeling. For my fellas, let me know what ladies you prefer over Tamar, Nivea, and Evelyn. Also share the video on some of your favorite social media platforms, y'all. All right, so let's get into it. So episode 2 picks up with the ladies all drinking coffee in the kitchen. That seems what the dude be like a normal thing they do. And so Tamar talking about she wonder how the next fresh batch about to be the fresh batch of cookies. And so she was like, you know, I already know Gatsby about to think I'm his girlfriend now, and he is. Excuse me. So Evelyn is like, you know, she's interested to see how this new group is going to be and all that. So then we get to the Pete's. They wearing their lavender. They sitting down with the men. And so we have 7 more men come in, and I'll show y'all a picture of the fresh batch, as I did get a good group picture of them all together. The men we have in this new batch includes Levon, Billy Lennox, Ty, Tarek, G. Sean, Robert, and there's one more guy, Popular, that's his real name according to him, y'all. Okay, and I will show y'all what they look like. So Holly Robinson, Pete, and Rodney Pete are sitting with the fellas, and they're saying, like, you know, being with these women, you have to be used to being in the spotlight, you have to have the confidence. So they're going to do a photo shoot today to see how well they do in front of the camera. Holly Robinson, Pete let us know in the confessional, like, you know, it's hard for these ladies at their age looking for love. Rodney said he was lucky to find Holly in his life and for his love, okay? So they bring out the ladies. The ladies all look fabulous, of course. And so everyone's kind of mixing and mingling. And so the ladies are tasked to ask guys for dates, but there's no number. So they could do however many dates I think they want to do, 3 or 4 I think it was. So everyone's mixing and mingling. We see Evelyn sit down and talk to Levon and Billy. I can't think of his second name that went. Lennox. I don't know why I want to call him Billy Sheraton. I want to call him something else, but not his name. Anyway, Billy Lennox, he said it's one word. He said he is sex, drugs, and rock and roll, y'all. G. Sean in his confessional let us know that he wants to merge lives with somebody, careers and everything. He's like a lion. He gonna go after his. We see how you do later on. So anywho, like I said, Evelyn was talking to Levon and Billy Lennox, and she's asking them if they have kids and all that. And, you know, because Evelyn has 2 kids. Levon has 1 kid from his previous marriage. He lets us know later on in the episode that he was married for like 12 years, and he has a 12-year-old. And Billy Lennox has 3 kids, a 9-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 31-year-old. Evelyn was like, 31? He's like, yeah, I started young. She's like, okay, me too. I like the fact that Evelyn gave Billy Lennox a little bit of a chance, because what we not gonna do, okay? Queen's Court producers, what we not gonna do is act like we didn't know Billy Lennox didn't have a chance on this show. Billy Lennox does not meet the vibe of any of these ladies. None of them. None of them would date Billy Lennox. Like, why was Billy Lennox a candidate? And I feel like it really was a scheme set up, because later on, Billy Lennox was sitting next to Tamar and getting to know Tamar. She was sitting in between him and Robert. And he was like, oh, yeah, you know, she's like, well, you play the hell out of a guitar, because he's giving Kendrick, you know, he's giving very much Jimi Hendrix, Lenny Kravitz tease. That's what he's giving. So that's his vibe, right? So he's like, oh, yeah, I play guitar, right? I produce, all that. And he's like, yeah, matter of fact, I just thought I'd let you know because it's going to come out later, so you better just know now. Your husband, your ex-husband is the one to discover me. She was like, oh, you know Vincent Herbert? He's like, yeah, you know, Vince is the one that discovered me. And so Tamar was like, oh, no, like, that ain't going to work. Like, she don't want to date somebody that know her husband. And I don't blame her. That's a hot mess. And she was like, first of all, he over here with this Gordon Cottrell on. When she said that, y'all, I hollered. Now, if y'all don't know what a Gordon Gartrell is, I'm finna show y'all right here. If you watched the Cosby Show back in the day, you know exactly what we talking about when she say that. And that's exactly what he was wearing. That's exactly what he was wearing, the Gordon Gartrell. So anyway, no, he ain't nobody's vibe. She was like, okay, so what about you, Robert? Yeah, because we done with Billy Lennox over here. Evelyn liked her some Robert. We saw them getting to know each other. It was her and Levon and Robert and couple other guys on the sofa. But anyway, and they did a photo shoot and he was all on her. He's like, yeah, you know, I like did he say her vibe, her attitude or something? She was like, oh, you know, my last ex was white. I was like, oh, because Evelyn let us know she only date the brothers. But she trying to keep an open mind, okay? So they did their photo shoot, and he was going to leave. And she's like, I have to ask you on a date. So she asked him on a date. We see Nivea mixing and mingling. Nivea like everybody. She asked Popular, Ty, and Tarek on a date all at the same time. She's like, you know, I'll just take all three of y'all on a date. Ty and Nivea did their photo shoot. He was like, you know, I'm liking that blue hair. She's like, oh, it's not too much for you. He's like, you know, I love it. You know, I like me Little Mermaid fantasy. I said, okay, Ty. Ty kind of cute too, okay? Ty is definitely one of my vibes. I would like me some Ty. I feel like that's a good choice for Nivea. Go ahead, girl. Okay, so then we also see Levon and Evelyn talking, mixing and mingling. He asked her on a date as well. So then at some point, you know, the piece get everybody together. They said, you know what, you got to meet the OGs. So the guys from last week came back, right? So y'all know who's left from last week because only Nathan and what's his name went home. I can't think of the other man's name. Oh, Tony went home, right? So we got the other guys coming. Gatsby coming with his sunglasses and his suit on. He's like, you know, he ain't even tripping about the other guys. He didn't already went through elimination. He woke up with a new attitude. So the OGs were not happy to meet the new guys. And so everyone's mixing and mingling. Everyone's like, oh, this is really awkward. Like the new guys meeting the old guys. And so Evelyn was like introducing Puff to Levon. And he's like, dang, you cheating on me already. She's like, well, actually, I'm cheating on him with you. And then Puff gonna pull Evelyn aside, talking about, you know, I had a dream last night and I can't leave here without you. I'm supposed to be with you. He was just doing too much. No, thank you, Puff. And so Evelyn didn't like him putting the claws on her, as she said. So some of the old guys were definitely threatened by the new guys. And then we saw Mac talking to Nivea, and then he was like, you know, I missed you, all that. And she's like, yeah, I got to get to know these other guys. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And he's like, it's okay. Like, you going to take me on a date? Like, what's good? He's like, they could come too. I'm already coming on a date. He said he already coming on a date. She was like, like, oh, you know, I got to get to know the guys. Like, sorry. But he looked all disappointed, right? Then we saw Michael, and Michael was talking to Evelyn, and Evelyn, you know, she still wanted her chance with Michael. I don't really see it for Michael and Evelyn, but I guess. So she was like, I know you went out with Nivea, you had a good time. And she was like, but I'm still interested, because Michael was like, so what's up? Like, you know. So she's going to go on a date with Michael, okay? So some of the OGs, they get a date as well as the new people, right? And then, let's see, we saw RJR. I don't know why I was going to call him RJ. JR came through his red suit on. He looked good. And so he was talking to Tamar, and he talking about, you know, he had to wear that, and Tamar telling Tamar and Evelyn how good they looked. They was liking how he was looking, and he was like, you know, I know you in this process. I'm hoping, you know, to see you again. You know, we going on a date. He asked her for the second date. I said, JR better work. JR better work. So, of course, he got that second date. And then Tamar did end up sitting down talking to Gatsby. And she ended up giving Gatsby a second date. Gatsby just be talking, man. It's talking about the yellow brick road. Like, Gatsby talks so much, I don't know what he be talking about. He appreciated the feedback Tamar gave him, and he was like, I'm hoping you want to see me again. You asked me on a second date, and then she's like, okay, like, let's go on a second date. I don't know why Tamar's giving Gatsby all these chances. There's something about him she likes. I think it's because she sees herself in him. Maybe that's why. And they have a lot of fun together, like she said. I can see them having a lot of fun together. I just can't take Gatsby too seriously. Can y'all take Gatsby seriously? Because I can't. Anywho, so let's see. I think that's all the dates we got. So then, let's see. The girls, they get back to the house. They got to get ready for these dates, right? So they go on these dates. So we see, let's start out with Evelyn's date, okay? So Evelyn takes the boys to the gym. She says she's very much into health and fitness. And, she be trying to eat right. She can't be with a guy that want to eat in and out every other day because then she going to be eating in and out. And I'm like, girl, I feel you. Evelyn's body looks good. She's always been a girl that likes to work out. And that's one thing I did like about Evelyn, besides, like, her clothes and stuff. So she had them doing in the boxing gym doing the punching bag, right? And so they was getting all tired and sweaty. So then she was like, okay, now y'all gonna do Evelyn's workouts, basically her circuit that she does. So she does the rope. I forgot the proper name of it, y'all. That's one of those workout things I've always wanted to do. I haven't gotten a chance to really do that yet. And then she wants to do the jump rope, the push-ups on that half kind of ball. I forgot what you call that as well. And then you gotta do some burpees. I forgot the numbers for everything. But anyway, so whoever finishes that first gets the solo date first, okay? And then she'll figure out the other order from there. So the man was going, okay, so Michael said, he finna show them what's up. So Michael started out doing good, but he got tired, y'all. By the time they was jumping that rope, Michael was left behind. I said, what happened, Michael? Michael got tired. LaVon, he was really pushing it. I already knew LaVon was gonna win. So LaVon got to have the first date, and he talked to Evelyn, and she's asking about, his marriage, and he was saying, like, how the first marriage didn't work out. They got married young was the reason, and they were only 24 years old, but, he had a son, and he sees his son, I think he said half the month, and that's like his best friend. He asked her, about being married again and her marriage, and she's like, yeah, I was married before, but I don't really like to count it. I was in an abusive, she tells us about this. She mentioned being in an abusive situation quite a bit this episode. And she was like, I don't know why I married that. Did she call him a loser or stupid or something? She called Chad Ochocinco a name. And I was like, oh, okay. So, he deserves it. He did headbutt her, I'm sorry. So, yeah, it was just, it was given a lot. So, anywho, she was saying that, she does want to get married again, but she is trying to be cautious about the situation, basically. So, anywho, then, let's see, she talked to Robert next. She's like, you got a swag about you. You got, like, a white chocolate vibe. Anybody ever tell you that? And he's like, yeah, I've gotten that a lot. And she was asking how old he is. He's 36. She's like, I'm 10 years older than you. We got an age gap there. And he seemed to be fine with it. He said he's not trying to be in the club anymore. Evelyn's thing is she don't want nobody else in the club still. I thought Evelyn still be going to the club, but maybe she don't. And she don't want somebody, slinging and stuff everywhere. He's like, I remember you said that. And so he's like, I'm not into that. He's more focused on other things right now. So, Robert Evelyn would be cute. I ain't mad at it. And so then she talks to Michael last, and she was like, asking him questions. She's like, you and Nivea, she seemed like, say you're a really nice guy. You guys really hit it off. Like, she trying to see what's up. And so he's like, yeah, I really enjoyed my date with her. And, I'm just trying to get to know people and all that. And he was saying, like, what are you here for? Are you ready? She was like, oh, yeah, I'm ready for love. I'm ready for love. Ready to, really get serious and get married again. And he was like, are you? She's like, yeah, I really am. And, she really want that special person. She don't want to be playing games and all that stuff. Everybody said the same old, y'all. It's really nothing to report. So, anyway, I don't really see it for Evelyn and Michael still. but who knows? Okay, so let's get to Nivea's date. Nivea had the boys down to the garden to pick out ingredients, fresh ingredients, to make their own pizzas, which was unique. So she had Thai, Popular, and I think his name is Rayshawn and Tarek trampling through that garden, picking tomatoes and basil leaves and all that to make this pizza, right? So she split, the boys split up in teams and she gonna do the taste test. She's like, surprise me, make it look good. So we had Rayshawn and Tarek on the team, and then Popular and Ty were on another team. And so they make a pizza. Rayshawn said he cooks all the time at home. And so they made the pizza. Navia tried them. It made me want some pizza, y'all. Anyway, she really liked the pizza. Rayshawn's, I think, was her favorite because he made like a vegetarian pizza. And she said eventually she wants to become a vegetarian. So she was really into that. Everybody swear they about to be vegan and vegetarian and they not. Like, we ain't got to play around. Like, I ain't finna lie to y'all and tell y'all I'm about to be a vegetarian and vegan. And I'm not. I know I'm not. I know me. I'm trying to eat better. But I ain't about to be no vegetarian or vegan. I ain't finna play with y'all. So anyway, so then she pulls the men aside to talk to them one-on-one. I can't remember the order she went in per se, but I do remember, she spoke with Rayshawn. I don't know why I want to call him Keyshawn. Rayshawn, and she was asking him about her learning to cook or his learning to cook, and he said he got out the military. He didn't really have a lot of money. He had no job. So he learned to cook because that's how he's going to take the girls on a date. She's like, oh, okay, look at you finessing. Look at you doing that. And he was saying something about like spending time with his kids. And he appreciates the fact that Nivea is very vocal and she speaks up for herself and all that. And he said he tells his kids, like, closed mouth don't get fed. Then we also saw her speak with Tarek, and Tarek said that, he's basically just raised by his mom, and he has that family thing in common with Nivea, and he, hopes that his kids will, treat their partners a certain way and all that, so they connected on that. Okay, and then Nivea also talked to Tyrone. I don't remember everything they talked about, y'all, to be honest. And she also talked with Popular. Okay, so Popular, he is 6 foot, I believe, and she said she's 5 foot. She asked him about his previous relationships. He's in a relationship for 4 or 5 years, so she's like, okay, you know how to commit. He said the relationship just basically fizzled out. She asked him, does he like short round women? He paused. She was like, tell the truth. And he said something about, I need someone that's going to be my homie. I don't know, that part was all chopped up weird. Like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, what that got to do with her being short and round? I didn't get it. Okay, so that was her dates. Okay, so then we had Tamar Braxton's date. She did tacos and tequila, which I thought was real cute. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. So she had JR on her date, Gatsby, and G-Sean, okay? And so Gatsby said he was being quiet as a church mouse. JR said, hopefully these men are not intimidated by your lifestyle, or intimidated by this process. So Tamar's thing with this date was because, in her industry she's in, she's a music artist around Grammy time, Oscar time, all the time. They always have these little cocktail parties, and she want to make sure that whatever man is on her arm can handle drinking all the liquor and don't be, slurring their words, acting up in public. She want to basically make sure she could take her man out in public with her and he know how to handle his own, hold down the spot, all that, especially with all the alcohol involved, which I was like, that's a good idea, Tamar. That's a good idea, girl. So I think JR would have no problem with that. She asked JR when's the last time he had tequila. He was like, oh, last time I had tequila, the Marine in me came out. Also, y'all, JR is a lawyer now. And I forgot to mention that in the first episode. So He was like, she's like, oh, okay, so what you like to drink? He like to drink vodka. He don't fool with that tequila. But he said, you know, if the ladies drink a tequila, that's what he'll drink. So then Gatsby, he was over there eating his tacos real hard. She's like, oh, you quiet today? You ain't got to say nothing. You hungry today, huh? And he was like, you know, basically his thing is like, you know, we got this new guy here. He want to get him the floor to speak, let him do his thing. You know, he ain't tripping. And so, G-Sean was like, oh, he did a toast. Now, it was a nice toast. He was like, you know, to the meeting all you guys, especially this beautiful lady right here. He's like, I've listened to all your songs. I stay up all night listening to all your albums. And that's where he lost everybody. Everybody's like, the toast was going good till he got that. So it was giving very much, I'm a fan. It's giving very much creepy. Okay. So he was like, yeah, you know, I listen to your songs and I love them so much, like all the way home. You're like, you know, you started out with love. And I know you started out with hurt and pain, but then you ended with love. And I just feel like that is so good. That is wonderful. And so she spoke with G-Sean 101. And y'all just got from bad to worse, really. G-Sean over there talking about how, you know, he liked to write songs and all this stuff, and he admires Tamar because she's a music artist, and she's also, you're a songwriter, and even the music changed because it was like, oh no. And Tamar was so turned off, and he was like, no, I tried to be, but he's like, I would love to write songs for such a, you know, beautiful woman as yourself, and I feel like people work together, we could write a good song. He talking about a confession that he watched the whole season of Big Brother with Tamar's on it, so he feels like he understands her, he knows who he is, she is, and all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, it's giving very much creepy. It was giving like, you know, she was also, you went home and researched me, like what's going on? And so she was like, okay, well, you care about lights, camera, action. So he was like, oh, that's no problem. Like we could get, you know, business together. We can, you know, connect spiritually. We could do that. Like you want to wake up and talk about business, we get money together. That's all good. Turn off. She was like, well, let me tell you, like my marriage, it was business and relationship mixed, and it was horrible. And she shares that her relationship with Vince ended horribly because he was her manager, her husband, her business partner. And it was too much. She was reaching her goals and stardom, but she was miserable. We saw it play out in Nebraska Family Values and the show they had together. So Tamar and Vince, their show. So yeah, she's not interested in doing all that again. No, she wants her husband separate from all that. Now I don't blame her. Like some of these women married today, husband managers, you need to be careful. Okay, are y'all watching SWV and Escape? Look at Latasha. Look at Wendy Williams. Okay, y'all be careful. So anyway, so Tamar ain't going through that again. She learned her lesson. Okay, so she was not feeling G-Sean in that way at all. We also saw her sit down and have a talk with Gatsby. Gatsby was like, you know, you invited me on this date, and you know, you saved me the last time, you know, I was about to be eliminated, and I know you care for me. And he was like, at this point, you know, I know it's basically more than infatuation, and you know, I know that, you know, me and you must have something going on. We must be meant to meet. And she was just laughing at him because he, like, Gatsby was, I can't even repeat everything he was saying because he was just going on and on, not making no sense to me, y'all. Was he making sense to y'all? And she was like, take your running shoes off. Like, you're doing too much. Like, slow it down. And I'm like, yes. Like, what is your problem, Gatsby? Like, why are you so thirsty? Like, what is the problem? She was like, okay, like, women are over here so desperate for a man. Like, just because you here now, I'm supposed to like you. Like, yeah, Gatsby, you doing the most, sir. So then she also sat down and spoke with JR. And she's like, you know, I don't know if you were just a smooth talker, or you just a good man. And he was saying that he has a trip planned. He is going to, I forgot the name of the place he going, y'all, but he going by himself. And Tamar's like, you going by yourself? And he was like, yeah, I go on my trips by myself. And she was like, you ain't want nobody else there? And he said he just going to rest and relax. He not thinking about sex and all that stuff. He just going to do his own thing, okay? And so Tamar still like her some JR, and I like JR for Tamar also. Okay, so that was pretty much all the dates, y'all. So then the ladies went back to the house, and so they're talking about the dates a little bit. And so Evelyn is, they're like, Evelyn, come over here, girl, we gotta talk about these dates. And so Evelyn is telling them how she went on a date with Michael. And so Nivea kind of look a little disturbed, like we all looking, but it is kind of a competition, so I don't know. I mean, they're free game, right? So she was like, okay, well, he, went on a date with me. And she's like, well, yeah, I said, he said he had a good time with you. And she was like, oh, did he bring me up? And she's like, well, no, I brought it up because I know he did go on a date with you. And then Nivea was like, well, I guess, he looking for love, everywhere, I guess. And so then Holly Robinson P came in right on time, and she's like, she want to hear about the dates, and Nivea was like, yes, let's let Evelyn go first. And she cursed too, so I was like, ooh, Nivea's not pleased. So anywho, Evelyn let them know about like Robert and Levon and all that. And so then Nivea talked about how she liking all the dudes, and it's just all the sexual chemistry. She really get along with popular, that Atlanta thing. And Holly Robinson is like, yeah, I feel like you're going to do that with it. Like, you would have that with everybody. Because Nivea is a talker. So I feel like she is one of those women who would get along with everybody and anybody, right? And so she does have to weed out, like, okay, but who's going to be real for you? Who's going to be a genuine connection for you, right? Tamar was like, oh, JR, he's still in the picture, but that Gatsby, he doing the most. Like, I told him to take his running shoes off. I needed to make it clear to him that, it's not all that. Like, she was saying, like, he basically said he went from just an infatuation, he got a full-blown crush on me, like, he doing the most. So Holly Robinson was like, okay, what about the guys that were not asked on dates? She asked Evelyn about Puff. She was like, yeah, I don't know about Puff, like, that name, she don't know. He said, he got it because people called him P. Diddy. At first I didn't see it, but then at the elimination dinner, I kind of seen it, y'all. But she was like, he ain't making me feel tingling in my lady parts. Nivea said her lady parts was river dancing today. I said, Nivea, girl, relax. She did like her some Tyrone, though. She did. And I ain't mad at her. So, anyway, then and then what's his name? Billy Lennox. She was like, I don't have to worry about, what you gonna wear on Christmas. Like, that's just not my vibe. She's like, maybe I work for the other ladies, but that's not me. Nobody was feeling Billy Lennox. And we already know nobody was feeling Billy Lennox. Like, nah. Nivea talked about how Mac was, looking all but hurt when he didn't get the date and the other guys did. So she's like, okay, we know we gotta do. So we get down to the elimination dinner party, okay? So again, Rodney is there to greet the fellas, as well as Holly Robinson with that long braided ponytail. And that white dress, you look cute, girl. So they were like, okay, y'all know why y'all here. So at the elimination dinner party, we had Gatsby once again. We had Puff in his red jacket. We had Popular and G-Sean and Billy Lennox, okay? And I think Billy Lennox had his cheetah print on, if I'm not mistaken. So the ladies come down and they, mix and mingle with the fellas, trying to give them a second chance. Evelyn's talking to Billy Lennox, and Billy Lennox is saying, he trying to sexually liberate his women right now. And she was asking about his wardrobe, and he was like, I don't wear something like this every day. Like, I'm just wearing this for this occasion, but something of this vibe. And she's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I want, my closet should be her closet, her, vice versa. No, Billy Lennox, we not sharing closets. We're not. I'm sorry. I don't want my man to want nothing out of my closet, and I don't want nothing out of his closet. But that's just my preference. No shade to those who are into that. That's just me, y'all. Okay. So I like a very manly man. Okay. So anywho, then let's see. We had Evelyn did talk to G-Sean, because he was saying, like, these, you guys being, stars and all that didn't even intimidate me, cross my mind, it bothered me. She's like, oh, but it did, because Tamar was like, you were kind of fanning out, not that you're a groupie, but you were bringing it up, and, she comes from this famous family, she's an artist, like, you have to know that would be kind of weird for her. And then he was like, oh my God, I can't believe it all just clicked for me, like, oh my God, I'm a negotiator, I'm surprised I didn't think of this, like, of course there has to be boundaries, oh my God. So then he felt bad for bringing it, and I'm just like, how did you not know that would be weird? maybe he genuinely does like her music. I can give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's still very much, I'm looking to get my writing career popping off of your back, Tamar. That's what G-Sean was giving to me. Was it just me? Later on, we do see G-Sean go talk with Tamar, and he brought her a card and some champagne bottle. And I said, when did he get to run to the store? When did he get to leave from production and go run to the store? Production gave him that stuff. Like, come on, y'all. So he gave her the card, and she read it. She's like, thank you for letting me come to Taco Tuesday. And she's like, and so he was like, I just wanted to, show this, my appreciation, and the champagne bottle. And then he was like, I didn't ask you, like, you sent me here? Am I here because you sent me here? And she's like, well, no, it's a collective effort. And he was like, I just want you to know, like, I'm here for you, like, for better or for worse. And, well, it must be worse as I'm here. And she did appreciate him making effort and giving her a gift and being thoughtful. So then here come Gatsby. Okay, Gatsby come through because he said, he gonna get his time. So Gatsby came through. He's switching out champagne bottles. He pouring Tamar a glass. He getting it popping, right? And so he talks to Tamar. And he basically excused G-Sean. He talks to Tamar, and he was like, you saved me last time. You gave me, good advice. You took me on a date. So I'm thinking, I'm basically here because you just wanted to see me again. And she's like, no, like, my thing is like, you. And then she's like, you need to take those running shoes off. Like, you need to slow down. Like, I want to get to know the real you. Like, we have fun together, but I want to get to know the real you. And he was like, but I tell you, I like you, and this is it for me. Like, what's up? But you tell me to take my running shoes off. So he's like, I don't know. And so he was like, he's basically saying he saw somebody else get eliminated last week. He want to know, is he going to be eliminated tonight? Is he going to get killed or saved? And she's like, you'll have to wait and find out. We also saw Nivea speak with Popular, and she was saying, like, she don't know if she has more of a friend vibe with him or a romantic connection, but she let us know, like, all her exes, she was friends with them as well, really good friends, so maybe they could develop into more. She don't know. She'll see. Nivea, it's okay if you don't like them. Girl, you don't gotta like everybody. It's okay to have a type, Nivea. It's okay, girl. Let's see, who else did the girls talk to? Oh, Evelyn talked to Puff. And then he's like, okay, so why am I here? Because he was bothered to be there, y'all. And she was like, okay, how'd you get the nickname Puff? He said, this is one he did let us know that his friend said he liked P. Diddy back in the day, so they gave him the name Puff, and it just sticks with him. Yeah, I kind of see it in the eyes, I guess. Okay. So she was like, okay, where do you live? He was like, South Carolina. She was like, he was like, but I'd be willing to move to LA, Hollywood, wherever Evelyn lives. And then she was like, okay. Her thing is she too old to be dating somebody who don't go by their government name. Me too, girl. Okay. And I don't blame her. And so she also stated later that she has concerns with him being a DJ in that lifestyle because he in the club every night. And I don't blame her. I don't think that Evelyn and Puff will be a good match. I don't think so. Like, as far as his physique and his look, that is her type. But his job, like Evelyn, she ain't gonna be able to handle that. No. And what woman would want to, right? I don't think that's a good idea. Because, them little girls in the club will be quick to slide up to the DJ booth and talk to the DJ to ask them to play their favorite song. So, don't even give him a chance, Evelyn. Let's see. Okay, so that was pretty much it. They got, they talked to everybody. So the lady spoke with the Pete's and talked about, what they gonna do. Tamar was like exaggerating. Yeah, let's get to it. Like she was really gonna get Gatsby together, but she didn't. They talked about the whole Billy Lennox thing ain't gonna work, and then they talked about the whole Puff thing and him being a DJ. So the man came to the table, and so Evelyn addressed Puff at first and said, I'm not sure about your lifestyle, but I want to get to know you more. So you're still, going to be a king on the show. So he get to stay. And then Tamar addressed Gatsby. And she's like, you got to learn. You always got to do so much. But there's still parts of you I want to get to know. So he gets to stay. So Gatsby, he like, woo. Gatsby done been in the bottom twice now, y'all. Okay. So then we're left with Popular, G-Sean, and Billy Lennox. So basically, the ladies let Billy Lennox know that that's just, they appreciate him, you know, being himself, living his life, his truth, but that's just not their thing, not their type, not their style. He said he's okay with it because they're not typical women he would go for. And I figured that. He seemed like he liked more like a hippie style, drug, sex, and rock and roll like him type of girl. So we ain't mad at it, right? And plus he know Vince, so that was weird. G-Sean said, like, you know, he was feeling like he was in the hot seat. He's like, man, I made negotiations harder than this, but this is hard. And so she was like, oh, you know, you don't have to feel bad. Like, the fact that you're putting the effort, you're being here, you came to all of us and presented to us like we are queens, and she appreciated that, but she's feeling him more in a friend vibe. Nivea let Popular know that she's only feeling him more on a friend vibe as well. So Popular, G-Sean, and Billy Lennox were sent home. They are not going to be kings. The ladies kind of felt, I think, bad a little bit. And Tamar was like, I'm not going to feel bad about letting these guys know I'm not into them, because just like they don't want their time wasted, I don't want my time wasted. I don't want to waste nobody's time. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Like, sometimes it is hard to like let guys know, especially when you first meet them, like, this ain't gonna work. Like, I got somebody right now that I gotta send one of them texts to be honest. And I work really hard on not ghosting people and saying, hey, I don't see it for us. So, but it's hard. It's very hard. But you have to be honest. Like, you have to be honest. So you got to do it. Sometimes people have to be ghosted though because of situations, but I try not to ghost people. But anywho, let me know in the comments, y'all be ghosting people. How y'all be getting rid of people? But I try to send like a little nice text. But anyway, those that are men that went home. Next week we have 5 new men coming, and so it only gets harder for the ladies. Y'all let me know what y'all think of these choices of the men that went home and the men that got to stay. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.